What in the frostbitten circus is happening in Minnesota? Are the sub-zero temps causing mass political hypothermia? Did common sense slip on the ice and crack its skull? I mean, seriously, blink twice if the sane adults in the room are being held hostage somewhere, because every time I think, okay, this has to be the bottom, I open the internet and Minnesota politely hands me a shovel and says, no, dig deeper. Corruption, chaos, anti-American nonsense on repeat. Just when I think I can't possibly see anything any more unhinged, bam, new headline, new insanity, same state. Wait until you see the latest disturbing details coming from the Twin Cities. I also have a fantastic bonus clip at the end of today's show, courtesy of Cash Patel. Let's just say Eric Swalwell is going to need a safe space after this one. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here, because if you want news that actually makes sense, makes you laugh, and doesn't insult your intelligence, you have officially found your people. Welcome. All right, to the latest gem. A press conference was just held in Minneapolis where the mayor proudly declared he will not cooperate with ICE if they're looking for Somalians. For context, over 90% of the people involved in the largest COVID fraud scheme in the nation are Somalians. But of course, the left doubles down on every 80-20 issue.
That's not American. That's not what we are about. And we're going to do right by every single person in our cities. And so, to our Somali community, Daman Shabka, Somalied Kunul, Minnesota Garahan, Minneapolis, Waan Kuji Janilahai, Waan.
A mayor in the United States of America is holding a press conference and speaking Somalian. They really don't see the writing on the wall, do they? It's almost impressive if it weren't terrifying. And it gets better. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara, he jumps in, saying Somalians should call 911 if ICE shows up masked to make arrests, because apparently federal agents now moonlight as kidnappers. And don't worry, the police will immediately respond and intervene.
Folks that are masked, that they're not sure if they're law enforcement, that they may be kidnapping people. Like, we have had those reports. I want to be clear to the community. The community should know that if you see something like that, that is legitimate, that you don't know if someone is law enforcement, you should call 911. We will immediately respond to and we will document, and reminding our officers of their duty to intervene.
So let me get this straight. In Minneapolis, following the law is now optional. Badges are now political accessories, and federal law enforcement, what? They apparently are just in disguise to keep things exciting? Tom Homan put them on notice. Watch this.
Look, I'll say the same thing I said to other chiefs of police in sanctuary cities. Shame on you. I mean, your number one responsibility is the safety and security of your communities. And ICE is targeting criminals. Criminals. So for you not to partner with ICE to make your community safer is shameful. He ought to put his badge in the desk drawer and walk away, because he stopped being a cop, become a politician. But if you cross that line, Pam Bondi and her U.S. attorneys are waiting to prosecute anybody that impedes law enforcement, ICE law enforcement, Border Patrol law enforcement in doing their job. Zero tolerance for impeding ICE in their operations.
Thank goodness for patriots like Tom Homan, who remind everyone that reality still exists, even in the frozen land of make-believe. But wait, there's more. There's always more. Towards the end of the press conference, held in Somalia, or Minneapolis, hard to tell which, they brought out a Somali Minneapolis council member to do a live audition for the Democrat playbook. His big takeaway? President Trump is a racist.
Our president is racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, and we are going to fight that. America has a history of fighting.
No. I think what he meant to say is that Somalians have a history of fighting, not Americans. And apparently now not wanting your tax dollars stolen counts as racism. Well, then there's their ringleader, Ilhan Omar, who was asked if she had started packing her bags yet.
Congresswoman, do you agree with President Trump's assumption that you married your brother to get citizenship? Have you begun packing your bags for Somalia yet, Congresswoman Omar?
Not going anywhere.
So you're not?
No, don't waste your energy on me.
Do you have a message for President Trump?
I will be here probably longer than Trump.
Wait, do you have a message for President Trump?
I am like a quarter of his age.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say to him?
He's an old man losing his mind. I don't know why he's obsessed with me.
Interesting. Well, thank you, Congresswoman.
Yeah, I hope he gets help.
What she doesn't seem to grasp is that the spotlight isn't on her because of her identity, it's on her because of her behavior. When Ilhan Omar was first elected to Congress in 2019, she reported a negative net worth of about $45,000. You fast forward to May of this year, and she's now showing a net worth of up to $30 million. That's a 66,000% increase in just 6 years. Most Americans work their entire lives and never see numbers like that. So yeah, we do have questions. This is also the same lawmaker who trashes American sovereignty. She cheers open borders, wants to abolish ICE, and got booted off the Foreign Affairs Committee over anti-Semitic remarks. So no, Congresswoman, the scrutiny isn't random, it's earned. You hold power in the United States Congress, and the spotlight is on you because of what you do with it. And yes, demographics do matter. The Somali population in the Twin Cities has now exploded to over 80,000. That voting bloc helped put her in office, and she never misses a chance to run cover for her community.
If we were really being honest about what could be masqueraded as national security issue, we know that no one from any of these countries has ever posed a threat within this country. And so we know that for him and his supporters, this is just a political football, and they're using our communities and people who look like me as leverage.
Never posed a threat, really? Then what do you call stealing hardworking Americans' tax dollars? Oh, right. I'm sure that's just economic stimulation for your community.
So I'm a handyman, and I worked on a lot of Section 8 housing to make sure they're up to standard. And one thing I've noticed when I go to these Section 8 houses, one, it's usually a Somali family. And what I mean usually, it's 9 times out of 10. And those houses usually have new cars in the front. I mean cars with an S, multiple new cars. And what I mean usually is like 8 out of 10 Somali houses, I've seen that. And I always wondered how someone on Section 8 can afford multiple new cars. I just couldn't put it together.
He lives in Minneapolis, by the way, and congratulations, sir, you have just unlocked the mystery of the luxury driveaways. See, the math wasn't mathing until it was. And then President Trump, he weighed in pure Trump fashion.
Frankly, don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do.
Are you talking about
I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman goes around telling everybody about our Constitution, yet she supposedly came into our country by marrying her brother. Well, if that's true, she shouldn't be a congressman, and we should throw her the hell out of our country.
So while the president is trying to remove illegal immigrants from the country, St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter, he says they'll be working with local police to help facilitate protests for Somalians because, according to him, illegal immigrants have rights in America.
Look to the organizations that serve immigrants and refugees across our community, because we have constant reminders out there about what your rights are. You have rights. That's an American thing. You have rights. We all have rights.
Last I checked, if you're here illegally, the only guaranteed right you have is the right to be deported. That's it. That's the list. But how unbelievably cocky do you have to be to stand in front of cameras and tell people who broke our laws, crossed our border illegally, and skipped the line that they're entitled to American rights? Then again, this is the same party that treats criminals like protected VIPs, so I guess consistency is their only real value. And speaking of consistency, Governor Tim Walz just announced a new program beginning today in Minnesota, and wait until you see who benefits from it. But first, here's his announcement.
We were over there because Martha has been a big proponent of our paid family medical leave program. Starting in Minnesota tomorrow, everybody who had a baby in 2025 can apply starting January 1st to get their medical leave. And on January 1st, everybody can. There's no reason that you should go broke because you have a baby and you can't bond with them, family member's sick, or you're sick. Here in Minnesota, we take care of our own. And guess what happens when you do this? Businesses are stronger. People are more loyal to their employers, and we see better productivity.
Did you catch that? He actually said everyone benefits from this, and he's not kidding. What he conveniently left out, though, is that illegal immigrants can also apply. Newsflash, the only benefit illegal immigrants should get, again, is deportation. Here's Governor Walz trying to defend the program by saying not all Minnesotans are committing fraud.
Aren't people going to abuse the program? How disrespectful to people to assume that all Minnesotans are scamming. That's what I hear from them all the time. I trust Minnesotans. I believe in Minnesotans. I believe they know. You're not going to get rich, and it's not your full salary. You're not going to scam and take time off. But this is complicated. This was a very good question about multiple members coming off. My family's dealing with this with a mother-in-law. My wife and her 3 sisters, my sisters-in-laws, have a schedule where they take turns every couple of days being responsible, and then they shift off, and then they shift off. As it stands right now, they leave their jobs without pay to do that. This will make it so much easier.
No one is claiming all Minnesotans are fraudsters. What we're saying is when you create dumb policies, you get dumb results. And Governor Tim Walz, he's proven time and time again that his programs are not airtight, and they are wildly susceptible to fraud. Maybe that's by design. After all, this is the same guy who changed Minnesota's state flag just last year. Here's what it looks like now. Am I the only one who thinks it looks a little familiar? Like the Somali flag, perhaps? I mean, at this point, I'm starting to wonder who he's kneeling to at night. Again, I'm going to ask Minnesotans, what exactly are you doing here? Don't be over here playing checkers while Somalis and Timmy Boy are playing 12-dimensional chess, if they're capable of that. Because, spoiler alert, they're not waiting for you to catch up. If you don't wake up and vote for leaders who put America first, you might as well start taking notes on how to live under foreign rule. Want a sneak peek? Just look at Somalia. Chaos, corruption, and power running wild. And let's be honest, it seems to already be happening here. So this is your wake-up call, Minnesota. You can either keep hitting snooze or stand up and take your state back. Remind the world that American answers to no one but Americans. Now that same message goes for my neighbors here in California. Here's yet another deadly example of what happens when left-wing lunacy meets our roads. An illegal immigrant was just arrested for killing a newlywed couple in a horrific crash in Oregon. And get this? He was issued a commercial driver's license in Gavin Newsom's California. 32 years old, in the country illegally, released by the Biden administration. And yeah, the Department of Homeland Security has now lodged an immigration detainer against him. The million-dollar question remains, how many more Americans have to die before politicians finally put a stop to this madness? And now let's lighten things up a bit, shall we? And move to that bonus clip I promised? Because who doesn't love watching a grown man get roasted online? Eric Swalwell decided to go full keyboard warrior and troll Cash Patel about, wait for it, the size of his jacket. Yeah, really. Fashion critiques from Congress. But as you're going to see, Cash Patel, he definitely got the last laugh, and it's glorious.
They're saying, oh, he refused to get off the plane in Utah after Charlie Kirk's assassination because he wanted a better-fitting FBI raid jacket. Is that true? And does fashion really make the man, Cash?
It's 100% false, as you know, and these people are worried about what I was wearing and what patches I was wearing. I was honoring my men and women at the FBI. One of my agents handed me a jacket and said, hey, boss, you should probably wear this. We're going into the command center. I said I'd be honored to wear that. And then another one handed me the SWAT team badge of the unit that was protecting the area where Charlie was assassinated. I wore that with pride. And if Eric Swalwell wants to come online and talk about what jacket size I wear, I'm happy to send him a women's medium so him and Fang Fang can go out again.
Somewhere on MSNBC right now, Fang Fang's boyfriend is probably hyperventilating, holding a press conference about jacket sizes and asking for a congressional hearing on fashion crimes. Honestly, bless him. We needed the laugh today. Up next, Trump's latest cabinet meeting was explosive. I mean, explosive. The president on fire with the press. Kristi Noem, she schooled Governor Tim Walz, and Pete Hegseth tearing apart the media's drone strike narrative. Click on that video now because this is the kind of reality check the mainstream media doesn't want you to see. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you over there if you check out that next video. Otherwise, for the rest of you, have a great rest of your day.